UFC 327 Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. I'm here to give you my full card breakdown and analysis on the entire fight card from the main event all the way down to the first fight of the night. We have 12 fights on the board. We obviously lost our co-main, which made the New York card next month even stronger, but this card is still a banger, just a bunch of slugfests. A lot of veterans too, which I like obviously because you know what they're there for. They're there to fight. There's no surprises, which makes a lot of these matchups better and the line's a lot closer, which is good for us. Now, last week didn't do my best, went 7-7 on the predictions, and obviously it was kind of a bad card. I didn't even have that much action on the card itself. Just had a few lottos that ultimately lost, most of them by one. So not a lot of action. Lost about like a unit and a half, I believe. But aside from that, have been doing pretty well these past few weeks. So of course, if you want all of my breakdowns earlier, all my premium plays, including lotto cycles and a lot of straights, because like I said, these lines are beautiful for straight bets, please join the Discord. The link is in the channel description. It's the best way to support me. It allows me to do this for you guys as I'm doing right now. So please support me there. It's only $14.99 a month, but there's other packages and plans that you can get for cheaper, obviously. And it's not the only sport we do. We do a bunch of other sports. Been crushing baseball, crushed football, been crushing tennis lately as well. So come join the Discord. And like I said, 12 fights on the board. And we're going to start with the main event. I've been back and forth with this one for a while now. There's a few fights, like I said, the lines are very close. There's a few fights here where there's going to be a lot of people come Sunday or even Saturday night. And they're going to come here on my comment section, definitely on my TikTok comment section, and most definitely on my Instagram comment section, and go, I told you this and that, blah, 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 because apparently I have to be perfect, right? And it's only going to happen after the fights. But there's so many fights here where both sides make sense for a lot of different reasons. And that's okay, because that's the point, especially for a championship fight. This is for the 205 championship belt. There's a reason why it's a pick'em. No one's a lock here. It's insane to think that someone is actually a lock here, because no one is. Now we go Jiri, who's only lost to one fighter in the UFC, and it was twice, and it was against Alex Pereira. We can go more in depth, like he's lost a bunch of rounds. He almost lost to Glover unless he got that rear naked choke. Sure, he was losing, or Rakic looked really good early until Jiri clipped him. Sure, which is still crazy. Jiri was the rightful side there. Or you can also go Dominick Reyes had something for him early. Jiri found that knockout. Okay. He was losing 2 rounds to Khalil Roundtree. He finds a knockout. Okay. But he finds a way. It's not like he's finding miracles every single time. He's breaking these fighters down slowly, not just with his striking, but it's with his pressure. It's with the fact that his ass doesn't go down. He just doesn't go down. And at some point, that is detrimental mentally when you are trying to put him away. He just doesn't go down. And then we have Carlos Ulberg, 14-1. You would think he's pretty, he's kind of new to the scene. He's older than Jiri, which is hilarious. Some knockout power, or a lot of knockout power. He has great striking fundamentals. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. There's nothing that he really specializes in. He has a pretty clean check hook, sure. He can counter pretty well, but there's nothing really too special about him. Let's just put it like that, right? Some controversial wins here and there, not that many special wins. His win against Dom Reyes in his last one was pretty nice, because obviously Dom comes back from losing 3-4 in a row, wins 3 in a row, then he gets knocked out cold by Carlos Ulberg. So that win still looks pretty good, but some of his other wins don't. I thought he lost that Jan Blachowicz fight, but that might not just be his fault. It could be Jan, because clearly we've seen Jan's track record lately, and he's just not doing enough to put these fights away, even if it's going to a decision. It's just a problem when I look at Ulberg fights, and it looks like he's just also not doing enough in a 3-round fight. I don't know if he's going to be able to do enough in a 5-round fight. Now, another thing is, I think this is stylistically the hardest matchup Jiri has had since Alex Pereira. Not even since, but the only other fighter that I would have an issue with. because of his style, like I just mentioned. He's a lot more patient, a lot more technical than a lot of fighters that Jiri has fought in his life. And that's a problem because Jiri's obviously very weird with his movements, with his style. Ulberg is okay with losing the first round and trying to pick the pieces together. He's not going to just go out there and try to knock you out in the first round. That could happen, sure. I think that he can disrupt Jiri's movement the same way Alex did. A lot of kicks, that check hook that I mentioned. It's just going to be weird when Jiri's trying to go in and Carlos just taps him, lightly taps him. Maybe doesn't even stun him, but it will get to Jiri eventually. That is my fear with picking Jiri in this fight. Now, my fear with picking Carlos Ulberg is he hasn't been in the magnitude of this type of fight before. He just hasn't. He hasn't fought in the quality of opponent or quality of fighter that Jiri Prochazka is. If you look at his track record and then you look at those fights, he just doesn't do enough. And I fear that in a 5-round fight, he's just going to slowly start fading. He might not gas out, but as a fighter, he might just start fading a bit. And that is when Jiri is literally on demon mode, demon time, whatever you want to call it. He becomes a god. If he sees you just go 1% below from what you were doing before, that's when Jiri goes, I'm going to rip your limbs out off of your body. That is legit what he does. So that's my fear there with taking Ulberg. And because of all that, I have to go with the fighter that I know has been there before, that I know if it comes down to it, listen, anyone can get knocked out early. Anyone can. Ulberg can get knocked out early. Jiri can get knocked out early. There's more likelihood that Jiri gets knocked out early than Ulberg. But if it comes down to the fourth round, fourth round, and Jiri's on the hunt, there is no doubt in my brain that I will go, thank God I'm on his side right now. Thank God. If I'm seeing Ulberg slowly fade, he's just backing up, trying to see where the fence is, and he's just doing this and just trying to stay away, breathing heavy, there is not a single bone in my body that will regret taking Jiri Prochazka. Now, if he gets knocked out cold in the first 2 rounds, fair. Might even have a lot over for that, because that's probably there's a good chance of that happening. But if this fight extends, there's no one else I would want other than Jiri Prochazka in this entire division, if we're excluding Alex Pereira, obviously. But there's nobody else. And there's a reason why he's only lost to one man in the UFC. If he didn't lose to Alex Pereira 2 times, his record would be 32-3-1. Who else has that fucking right? He'd be one of the GOATs right now. Now, the odds for Jiri Prochazka, I just went on a rant on him. -125 on FanDuel, -112 on DraftKings. Not the best, not the worst. For FanDuel, take DraftKings. It's damn near pick him. He might end up being an underdog at some point. But he's a favorite now, so I obviously pick him as a favorite. Give me Jiri Prochazka to win by TKO or decision. All right, now that I got that out the way, we'll go pretty quickly on a lot of these other fights, obviously. Azamat Murzakanov versus Paulo Costa. Listen, Costa is coming up in weight. He's obviously only had 1 fight, I believe, at 205. Or 2 fights? I believe 1 fight, sorry. Where he lost, and it was against another middleweight, which is very disappointing and disgusting. But he's going to be 2 inches taller, slight reach advantage, leg reach disadvantage. Murzakanov is 16-0. I think he's so slept on. I think he's very good. I just don't see a world where Paulo Costa wins this, and I'm a big Costa fan. I have taken him in fights that I probably shouldn't have, and I think it's just me being a fan. Like the Strickland fight, stupid. But I did take him against Kopylov, which was very nice because he was a pretty massive dog. He was more of a dog, I believe, in that fight than he is here against 16-0 Azamat Murzakanov. I think Costa is going to be kicking him a lot, but I think that sticky jab that Murzakanov has is just going to be touching up Paulo Costa, and I think he's just going to be able to win some rounds. That's really what it is. I think he's going to win those first 2 rounds. One might be close, and then Paulo Costa is just going to have to find a finish, and he's not going to be able to because Murzakanov is very hard to hit. That's something people aren't talking about enough. He's very hard to hit. Is what it is. Would I like Paulo to win? Absolutely. I just don't think he does. Murzakanov -205 on both books right now. Yeah, sounds about right. Give me Azamat Murzakanov to win by decision. Next up, Curtis Blaydes versus Josh Hokit. Now, I was 50-50 on this literally up until like an hour ago. And honestly, I'm still kind of 50-50. This is something that I'm probably not going to take on anything, and I'll just bet it straight because this could be truly be a parlay buster. There's just too many good lines on this card for you to have to worry about whether Curtis Blaydes could beat an 8-0 Josh Hokit, or is Josh Hokit actually the real deal? And that's kind of what's been circling around my brain lately. He's going to be the shorter guy and a 6.5-inch reach disadvantage, 3-inch leg reach disadvantage for Hokit, which means that he's going to have to come in a lot more. Now, that's probably the game plan itself, but what are you going to do in those moments where you're in the pocket against Curtis Blaydes, where Curtis Blaydes is not going to be able to really kind of hit you? You're going to wrestle Curtis Blaydes? Last person that tried to wrestle Curtis Blaydes for real was Jailton Almeida, and he won that first round, and when he tried to do it again, Curtis Blaydes elbowed him into hell, pretty much. And speaking of Jailton Almeida, who's no longer in the UFC, Curtis Blaydes does not have a win against a fighter who's like in the UFC anymore, aside from like Volkov a few years ago. Now his losses are decent losses. He's obviously lost to Tommy Aspinall very early in his career. He lost to Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis. I mean, not bad losses. Josh Hokit, 8-0. He has not fought in a single good fighter. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean he can't win this fight. And my issue with Curtis Blaydes is, and I love Curtis Blaydes, I saw that fight against Kuniev, and he just didn't do enough. And I took Curtis Blaydes, and it was a split decision win. I was like, okay, I guess. Like I'm not gonna say anything, but he just didn't do enough. Hokit could tire out, but he might be really the side to pick here, which is why I'm going to go Josh Hokit. I just don't know what Curtis Blaydes is gonna wrestle Josh Hokit. The wrestling is going to cancel each other out. So it's really about who's the better striker, and you can make arguments for both. Probably Curtis Blaydes slightly. Doesn't mean he's going to be able to get the better of Josh Hokit if Josh Hokit's really in the pocket, if he's really like swinging. Josh Hokit's whole character kind of pisses me off, but that's not what we're here for. Hokit plus 108, plus 105 on DraftKings. He's the dog. Give me the dog. Give me Josh Hokit to win by decision. Next up, Dominick Reyes versus Johnny Walker. Now, this is a very fun one. This is what I meant by coin flip. You can make arguments for either of them. Dom Reyes looked really good. He should have been the champion. He beat John Jones. He loses a few fights. Looks like he should retire. He comes back, wins a lot of good fights. He's back, title contention, loses to Ulberg in a minute, I believe, or the first round, I should say, sorry. Johnny Walker looks like he also, in moments, he should retire. And then he comes back, does some crazy to Ming Yang, goes to China to fight Ming Yang, ends up beating Ming Yang, and beating him very, very decisively. Anyone can go down here. I think Reyes is the better fighter. I think he's the cleaner striker. I just can't trust his chin. I can't trust Johnny Walker's chin either, but he has that 5-inch reach advantage, and that might work wonders here. I don't remember the last time I took Johnny Walker in a fight. I'm not going to lie. I'm actually trying to think back on it. I actually don't remember. And I'm a Reyes fan. I just feel like Johnny Walker, I feel like he should be the favorite here after the way Reyes lost his last one. It just feels like if he loses this one, it's not like, oh, he has to retire again or take some time off. But I just feel like Walker is kind of just momentum-wise, just in a slightly better trajectory. Training at a different camp now too. He just looks a little better. Johnny Walker right now is also a dog. Plus 124, plus 108. Give me Johnny Walker to win by knockout or TKO. Next up, Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. Now, straight up, Cub Swanson is retiring after this fight. Don't even like that already. But he's fighting literally just him. He's fighting himself. Nate Landwehr, who's coming off of a loss, or 2 losses, I believe. Cub Swanson coming off of a win. Now, this is going to be a slugfest. Another one where you just go, it's a coin flip. But I'm going to go Nate Landwehr here. I mean, he's not retiring, which honestly, it's a big thing. He's not retiring. It could mean Cub Swanson is going to go out there and swing like a motherfucker. I think Landwehr just does just a little bit more, just lands harder. I think he can win rounds like that. And because of that, I think they'll have a nasty third round where I'm doing this a lot. If I have a bet on it, obviously. If not, I'm excited. I have popcorn. But I think they're just going to be slugging it out. And I just think Nate Landwehr is just going to land a bit more. I just think Cub Swanson's just going to be a little more bloody. That's just my opinion. Nate Landwehr now, is a favorite. He was a dog. Or he's a heavy favorite, and then he turned into a dog. Where is it? Here too, like bookmaker, which I can't take. Obviously, Bet US I can. Bovada as well. But on DraftKings and FanDuel, he is the slight, 4-cent favorite against Cub Swanson. But give me Nate Landwehr to win by decision. By decision, sorry. I was like, wait, Nate Landwehr by decision? Hell no. But yeah, give me Nate Landwehr to win by decision. Next up, Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico is the biggest favorite on this card, and I think it's for a reason. I'm not going to go too into this one. I think Aaron Pico dominates Pitbull. I think he takes him down, and I think at some point he's going to have that body lock. He might even get full mount in it, and he just starts raining blows. I don't think he subs Pitbull, but I think he finishes him. So I would rather take a finish prop than a Pico to win by decision. I think Pico is going to show why he belongs to be in the UFC. He's still very young. The chin is not there, but Pitbull's 45 years old. He's not going to crack that chin. And he was started to fade against Ige. Let's just point that out also. Aaron Pico minus 305. Like I said, he's going to win, and he's going to win by finish. So give me Aaron Pico to win by TKO or submission. Next up, Kelvin Holland versus Randy Brown. I am choosing Randy Brown. Another coin flip here. I know Kelvin Holland looks different at 170, this and that. He lost his last two fights, and they were both at 170. I don't know what the hell everyone's trying to tell me. I never fade Kelvin Holland. I don't know what the hell people are trying to tell me like he's like some monster at 170. He's good. This is the first time I'm fading Kelvin Holland, I believe. So clearly, or maybe not the first, but it's been a while. It's been a while. I think maybe I faded him against Mike Malott. But even that, I was like, a winnable fight. He's lost to that, and then he lost to D-Rod as a minus 800 favorite, both at 170. Randy Brown just got knocked out, but that is my brother from Queens, New York. That, there's a connection here. I can't fade him in this type of fight where it feels like it's very winnable. It's very winnable. I think that he's going to use that leg reach advantage. People are saying Holland sub. I don't hate it, honestly. I think if there's any finishing upside on the feet, I think it's Randy Brown. I don't care what anyone says. People say he has a glass chin. Bro got kneed. Have you ever eaten a knee? He got kneed. What is Kelvin Holland going to do? He's not going to knee him. Not in the face, at least. Maybe to the body. I just don't love this spot for Kelvin Holland. He's obviously lost 2 in a row, so he needs this one. But it doesn't make me feel like I have to take him because of that. I'm going Randy Brown. Randy Brown is barely a favorite, too. I mean, what a beautiful line that is. Minus 125 here and then minus 110 on DraftKings. I don't know why I can't press it, but minus 110. There we go. Money's coming in on Kelvin Holland. You do you. Give me Randy Brown to win by TKO or decision. Next up, Mateusz Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovics. Now, Ribovics was supposed to fight Murzakanov, I believe, which is funny. That fight didn't pan out, and now he's getting Gamrot. And there's another fighter at ATT that's going to wrestle fuck him. And I think that's probably is what's going to happen. Ribovics had problems with getting taken down in the past. He probably gets taken down here and is probably going to be very discouraging. I'm going to be rooting for him, but predictions wise, I just think Gamrot is one of those fighters where he's just going to do enough on the feet to get you to the ground and then win by points. It is what it is. He's not looking to finish. That's why he's never going to get a shot at the belt. He will lose eventually, right? He's the Benil. He will lose right there. Minus 194, minus 192 standard. Not really going to be looking to take him on too many things, but give me Mateusz Gamrot to win by decision. Next up, Tatiana Suarez versus Loopy Godinez. Now, very similar. I'm thinking it's going to be very similar back-to-back fights. Well, this one's going to happen first, but just going to be able to do enough on the feet to get a takedown against Loopy. Loopy does not have the best takedown defense. It's not bad, but it's not great. Suarez just knows how to get people there. And if she's on top, it's almost impossible to get her off. And if Loopy decides to try, she will get choked out. She'll get choked out. I think there's a sub is at play here. I'm not going to go with it for the predictions, but I think Tatiana Suarez is the clear side. This is one of the clearest fights, I think, in my opinion, on the entire card. Tatiana Suarez minus 166, minus 155. Give me Tatiana Suarez to win by decision. Next up, Chris Padilla versus MarQuel Mederos. I'm going Chris Padilla here. It's funny because it just feels like everyone's kind of counting him out on every single fight he's had ever. And now that he's a favorite and he should win this fight, it kind of feels like some fuckery is going to happen, right? It kind of just feels like something's going to be iffy and you just go, this is, of course, the time I add Chris Padilla to my parlay. I get it because I'm not going to do that. It does feel like one of those moments. So I understand. Whoever does this and comes back to, I'll like send my condolences to your parlay, because it feels like this is a spot for that. Mederos doesn't look terrible, but his striking is still there. If Padilla's not able to take him down, this could be a coin flip on the feet, which is why I just don't want to really pick betting wise. I don't want to pick a side, but predictions wise, I will pick Chris Padilla. I think he will eventually be able to take Mederos down, control him, and if he's able to get on his back, I think the sub is live. Chris Padilla right now -155 on DraftKings, -170 on FanDuel. Damn, DraftKings is just blowing them out of the water with these odds right now. If you're in New York like me, really look into line shopping. I think DraftKings is probably the best place. If you're, I don't really use like Fanatics. I'm not a fan of I don't use Fanatics, or I don't like Caesars or anything. Unless they want to sponsor me, then I'll be the biggest advocate. But as of right now, not really using them. So DraftKings usually has some great odds, especially live. If you're looking to take anything live for fighting, the best book. They don't lie about that shit. They have like a slogan for it, like we're the best live betting, whatever. They're not lying. They really are. They really are. But give me Chris Padilla to win by submission or decision. Next one, Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. Now, Kelvin Gastelum is the second biggest favorite on this card. I made a video on TikTok or Instagram about him and this fight, and people were just like, yeah, but Luque sucks. Kelvin Gastelum doesn't look the same anymore. I'm not saying he loses this fight, but he shouldn't be a heavy favorite the way he is. It's kind of disrespectful to Luque. Luque sub could happen. Luque decision could happen. Luque knockout is not going to happen. Kelvin Gastelum, I think, doesn't have much finishing upside. If he does, it's on this because of the fact that Luque is just kind of washed. I don't like either side. This is really the parlay buster, or this is something I'm just not even. I'm gonna watch this fight. I am not taking shit on this fight unless it's like a crazy like Gastelum knockout or something. But this is likely going to the scorecards. But Kelvin Gastelum right now -278, -310, absolutely disgusting. If I told everyone on the Discord, you all are allowed to add Kelvin Gastelum to one parlay, and if you add him to anything else, I'm cooking you. Give me Kelvin Gastelum to win by TKO or decision. And last but not least, Charles Radke versus Francisco Prado. Prado just seems too young right now. He's not panning well out in the UFC. He's had some good moments, but he just seems too young. Radke is good. Radke's good. His striking, I think, is going to be here in this fight. I think the biggest issue, though, is Prado is look at it. Look at that head. He has an Ethan Ewing head. It's huge. Look, it's like a block, and he's been hit a lot before. I don't think he gets put down. I think Charles Radke knows that. I think he's going to work on the feet to get those takedowns, and I think he's going to be looking to get some ground and pound going, but I think at some point Prado tries to get up, gives up his neck, and I think he gets choked out. At the very worst, probably just loses on the scorecards. I think Radke's obviously much older in this fight, but it's not like he's only 11-5. It's not like he's like fucking 40-13 or something. He doesn't have like a Nate Diaz record where he's like has so much damage done. His losses are not bad. Mike Malott, who's fighting next week as the main event, and Carlos Prates. Not bad losses in the UFC. Prado has a few bad losses. I think he gets taken down, and I think he gets dominated. Charles Radke right now, -175, -200 on FanDuel, which is why I give you the double chance. That double chance is literally it's -120. Sub, the one I'm about to give you. So give me Charles Radke to win by submission or decision. And that's UFC 327, Jiri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. That's where my Miami Heat sweater that I got in Miami literally almost a year ago to this day, which is fire. But of course, I haven't taken any plays yet. I will between tonight and tomorrow. By the time you're watching this, I will already have plays out on the Discord. But kind of waiting to see who makes weight, who misses weight. They're in Miami. There's a lot of good food and a lot of tequila. I should know. I'm waiting until everyone makes weight, hopefully. And I'm looking at you, Kelvin Gastelum. Fat fuck. But as always, please like, comment, share, favorite this, send us to your homies, please, or please sub. I'm trying to get to 800 subs. Please get me to 800 subs. I'm trying to get more subs because I'm trying to produce as much more content as I can. Like, I'll drop 2 videos a week for the UFC. That's what I want to do, but I need to get more subs for more watch hours and stuff like that as well. So please, if you watch these videos, Please sub, please like, please comment your lock, please comment anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Comment hate, don't. But follow all the other socials. I post there pretty much daily on TikTok and Instagram. It's the same Izzy's DGen mine. And please join the Discord. It's the best way to support me. It allows me to do this for you guys so we can all cash. I love you all. Thank you so much for sticking around this week and every other week in the past and every other week moving forward. I'll see you guys next week for UFC Winnipeg, UFC somewhere in Canada. Let's keep cashing.